Hello and welcome to this session, guys. And I hope you are doing good at this time of pandemic. All right, so data science is the future. Why people are saying that, and why this career is good for you guys. We are going to talk about a lot of things in this particular session, and these are the agenda for today. Why to choose data science as a career? Industries where data science is used, designation you will get after this program, difference between data analyst, data engineer, and data scientist. Salary of a data scientist. What is data science? Use cases of data science, skill sets and technologies used in data science. Prerequisites for data science. What is the day-to-day work of a data scientist? Who can go for this particular program? Life cycle of data science with use cases, Python and introduction. Lot of things we have to cover, and I hope you will enjoy this particular session. So why to choose data science as a career? So before I jump to that, I'll introduce myself. I'm Rahul Tiwari with around 14 years of industry experience. I am a data scientist at Cognitive Analytics. That is my current job. Before that, I worked for Rawmind Analytics as a data scientist. I started my career with Accenture, Capgemini, Tech Mahindra, and Deloitte. Rawmind and Cognitive Analytics are the startups, and they are paying good. I started my journey with Accenture with the package of 2.5 lakhs. Then I moved to Capgemini with the package of 5.9 lakhs. After that, I moved to Tech Mahindra with 9.5 lakhs. I joined Deloitte around 12 lakhs. I worked for Deloitte for 5 years and then reached the package around 30 lakhs. And then I joined Rawmind with 33 lakhs, and then I moved to Cognitive Analytics, and the package is 38 lakhs. So this entire journey I'm talking about because of the the word which I got, right, the data world which I got, and that was the amazing thing happened to me. I joined Accenture and I started my journey with business intelligence. At that point, analyzing the existing data and get insights from the existing data is one of the important thing. And I was lucky enough to join the career with business intelligence in Accenture. Then my journey started for data science, like how I started. So basically business intelligence, then I got to learn the tools like Tableau, Power BI. When I was in Tech Mahindra, in Accenture and Capgemini, I was working in the tool Informatica, Teradata, and other ETL tools. Then I moved to Tech Mahindra and worked on Teradata, Tableau, Power BI, and then I moved to Deloitte. There, my actual data science journey started. So when I joined Deloitte, at that point in time, I started working on Python and R. And over the 5 years of tenure in Deloitte, I've worked on various projects on these skill sets. So luckily, I got a chance to learn Tableau, Power BI, very, very important software. After that, I got a chance to get into data science. So I really love these tools and I really have a respect for these tools because these are the best tools in the market and doing great. I have expertise in data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Now, why to choose data science as a career? People are saying that data is the fuel of 21st century. Why? First of all, we have to understand why suddenly data is becoming a fuel. What could be the reason? So the reason will be, or the reason is, if I think logically. So I started my journey with machines, with PCs when I was in school. At that point in time, the machine has what configuration? It's like around, I would say 20 years back or something. So the configuration of the machine were 512 MB RAM, 50 GB of hard disk is like very big hard disk, like, and the machine cost is around 30,000. So that was the cost. And at this point in time, right, in 20,000, you're getting 2 GB RAM or something in the mobile phone. So that is the power. suddenly the cost of the hardware reduced drastically, and the saving capacity also increased. Suppose I want to purchase a 1 terabyte of hard disk, now I can purchase in like 2000 rupees or something. But when I was a kid, it was like 64 GB pen drive I was getting in that cost. So that cost of saving the data reduces drastically and the processing power increasing drastically. And that is the reason we are able to process lots and lots of data, image files, video files, and many more. I can do that. And these things helping us to make data as a fuel companies are using. Like in my experiences, there are like various clients I worked with, and they wanted something like I would say data from various different data sources, and they want to analyze that data and then come up with the insights. And obviously, that is helping them. If I talk about one of the projects in Deloitte, so there was a client from life sciences, and they wanted us to create a solution which will help them to reduce the overall time of the reduction of the drug manufacturing time. And that is the task we had, and we used various different data sources, analyzing the data and so on, and then coming up with a data science solution using big data, using Python programming, using Tableau reporting, and then coming up with the final solution. It was taking around 8 years to generate a drug and do the testing, but now after the solution they are able to generate the drug in 4 years. They reduced the time almost the half. So that is the benefit which we have, and overall it is an amazing experience. There are a lot of projects which we are going to talk about in the future sessions as well, and we'll discuss like my experiences when I was working for various companies and what all solutions I created for the businesses. So we'll discuss that over the period of time. 10 out of 10 companies require data scientists. 10 out of 10 companies. Name any company, just tell me that data is not present for that company. Zomato, huge data. Swiggy, huge data. It's like what? It's a fooding app, right? Uber, Ola, cab apps, data is available. If I talk about tourism, if I talk about any different domain, data is everywhere, and you have to analyze the data, and that will be done by the IT companies. So there are a lot of clients available, and they just have to analyze the data. At this point in time of pandemic, after everything will be normal, people will able to analyze the data and try to understand how much growth happened, how much losses happened, and so on. How will you do that? You will require a data scientist to do that. So at this point of pandemic also, we are pretty much confident that you will get a job, because the only reason is that data analysis will never stop. If you just Google around what is the COVID cases, you are seeing the data, right? And you can analyze the data, you can do some predictions from that data, and many companies will do it. Many companies are doing it now as well. So whether the recession will be there or not, if you have in that data world, the chances of you to get a job, or chances of you to be stay in the job during recession, will be huge. The only reason is that it is a very, very demanding job till this point, and it always be for next few years, at least maybe 5 to 10 years minimum. The only reason is that data is growing exponentially. Maybe today some tool is working, maybe in future some other tool will come in, but here we are not very much um, concentrating more on the tools. We are looking for understanding the concepts, the technical concepts, the mathematical concepts, and all those things. So over the period of time, the requirement of this particular job profile will be going to rise exponentially. So that is very much in demand. Now, jobs for data scientist is around 24,493. And obviously it's like a 1% of the job, because Not all the companies may be using Naukri.com. They may be using Monster. They may be using Times Job and so on. So obviously, this is like a 1% of the job which is there in the market. And you can see that with the 2 to 7 years of experience, the package they are actually giving is around 15 lakhs to 30 lakhs. And you can see that it's a big range. And obviously, this is like one of the ranges. But as for us, I think for 2 to 7 years of experience, there will be around 7 to 20, 25 lakhs of the salary we can expect. So we'll see that the salary range in the next slides. But from here, I can clearly see that there is a good demand coming in, and the package range is also very high for the young professionals. So now industries where data science is in demand. Name any industry where data is not there. We already discussed. Retail, data is there, right? Healthcare, corona, people are talking about it. Once everything will be fine, they will analyze this as well. Politics, these days, like, politicians are also smart enough and they want to win the election, and they do a lot of data analysis. And this is one of the uh, upcoming, I would say, domain where data is highly used. Automobiles, I want to analyze how many sales are going to happen for, let's say, my bullet bike over the period of time. So I can do that. I can do that analysis. Crude oil price is very much less. Maybe the revenue of the bullet bike will increase drastically. The only reason is that the price of the crude oil is less. Airlines, as of now, it is highly impacted, right? Traveling is not happening. If everything will be open up, then there are chances that social distancing will be maintained in the flight. Then very less number of passengers will be there in the flight, and then that will be the cost for airlines. Then they may increase the cost of the ticket and so on. So all those analysis they have to perform. This will also require a data scientist. Finance, it's a crunch, right? And you can see that people are getting moratorium and they are not paying the loans, and they have to uh, wait for something good to happen. And obviously bank, they have to analyze a lot of things once they are going to resume the loan, like how much interest will I charge, and a lot of other things will come into picture. So very, very important domain as well. Telecom, you're coming up with some offers and you can just market those offers and so on. So all those offers we have to analyze which offer will be fit for what type of population. And these are like some of the use cases which we can think of while talking to this slide. Food and hospitality, I already mentioned you the concept of Zomato, Swiggy, these type of apps, right? And they are actually analyzing a lot of data and they are coming up with a lot of offers as well. So these are some of the important domains. And again, think about any domain, you will able to see that data is there. And when you want to analyze the data, then data scientist is required. Designation you will get after this program, which the scholar is coming up with. So first of all will be business intelligence analyst, then data analyst, then we will have machine learning engineer, data scientist, then business analyst, and finally data engineer. So these are some of the job profile you will get after completing this program, because you will have the knowledge of all the various tools and technologies here. You will get a knowledge of Python, you will get a knowledge of statistics, you will get a knowledge of SQL, you will get a knowledge of Tableau, Power BI, a lot of knowledge you will find over this entire curriculum, and you will able to understand this particular, you will able to get the job profile for this particular program. So after this particular program, you will get a good job profile based on these skill sets. Obviously, as a data scientist, Tableau, Power BI, if you are not doing much, it's very much okay, because it varies from company to company. If the company is like, uh, let's say, with a less budget, right, and they want a employee who can able to do the data science task as well, and they can able to do some, I would say, business intelligence task as well. So he should have the detailed knowledge of Tableau. But suppose if I'm going with a big company and budget is good enough, then I may have to work as a data scientist only, and I don't have to look into reporting and all those things. So it's like a depending on the business to business, company to company. So there are chances that you will have to work extensively in Tableau or Power BI, or there are chances that you just have to have the basic knowledge. So based on that, the program is designed. So here we are going to talk about the basic idea of Tableau and Power BI as well, because most of the companies are looking into that particular thing. But if you are looking for detailed knowledge, then obviously you have to learn Tableau and Power BI separately as well. What is the difference between data scientist, data engineer, and data analyst? These are the job roles for data scientist. These are the job roles for data engineer. These are the job roles for data analyst. These are the skill sets. So if you read one by one, data scientists take data science projects end to end, create predictive modeling processes, present the finding to the business. The skill sets looking for statistics, programming with Python or R, communication and business knowledge. Job role of a data engineer, main focus is on coding, implement the solution, help data scientists to get the data in the clean form. Programming with Python or R, statistics and SQL. And if I talk about data analyst, typically help people from across the company understand specific queries with charts. Skills will be Tableau or Power BI, statistics and communication and business knowledge. So you can see that a data scientist, if you have a good understanding of model processes and you're able to get the insights from the data, then that is the job role you are looking for. And as I mentioned, anyone can get into this particular program because the reason is that this is like a profile where we will have to spend more on understanding the business, then delegate your tasks to the ID team, which is like data engineer team, and then they will work on it. And then you have to come up with the predictive modeling and other details. So that is your job role will be if you are becoming a data scientist. But if you are more into technical, if you are more willing to work on technical, then this data engineer job will open up for you. And if you're more into helping the customers by analyzing the specific data, then data analyst job comes into picture. So it's like across the board, you will get a chance to work on various different job roles based on your interest. So salary wise, again, obviously it's an important factor to discuss. So for salary, fresher with 4 to 12 years, you will get around 4 to 12 lakhs. Like as a fresher, 4 to 12 lakhs is the salary you can expect. 1 to 3 years it is like 7 to 18 lakhs, and 3 to 7 years 10 to 30 lakhs. And again, it is purely depend on company to company. Sometimes it will be more than what I am quoting here, and sometimes it will be a bit less than what we are quoting here as well. But the average range is what I'm talking about, is around these range. Now what is a data science? Suppose I want to purchase a computer for my new office. How would I select the right website? There are a lot of websites available. Amazon.com, we have Flipkart.com, and there are various different e-commerce websites as well. So I will create a flowchart, right? That do website sell computer first of all. It's not like that I'm going to Facebook to purchase the laptop. No, Facebook is not meant for it. So I will first check the websites where I will get the laptops, get the computers. Then I will check the ratings, whether the rating is greater than 4 out of 5. If not, then I will stop searching. If yes, then I will go further. Whether the discount is more than 30% or not. So obviously, if it is more than 30%, then I will proceed. Else, I will close the website. And finally, I'll purchase the computer, and at the end, I'm closing the website as well if the discount is not more than 30%. So that will be my flow chart, right? And then I will decide to purchase the computer or not. Data science is capable of answering a lot of other questions as well. For example, which party would win elections this year? Is the buy going to be fine even after 5 years? Which viewers like thriller movie? Which route shall I take to reach office faster? So these are like some of the open questions you may get in your day-to-day work and day-to-day life. And those questions can be answered by data scientists by analyzing the data and then doing some prediction on top of it. So data science is all about asking the correct questions and analyzing the data, modeling the data with help of different algorithms. communicating and visualizing the result. So these are the things which as a data scientist you have to do, asking the correct question to the business. Without doing that, you will not able to come up with the insights. You may not able to understand what you have to do. Modeling the data with the help of different algorithms, right? We'll talk about different algorithms in the entire curriculum. Yes, yes, correct. Yes, Neha. So you will able to learn a lot of algorithms during this curriculum. I hope this makes sense to all of you. Communicating and visualizing the result. So as a data scientist, you have to aware of these skill sets. Use cases for the data science. Let's say one of the examples. I want to sell a second-hand car. I have a car. I want to sell it. Obviously, it's a second-hand car now. But how much cost I can quote? Let's say I purchased Maruti 800 Alto and it cost me around 3.5 lakhs. And I used the car for 3 years. After that, I'll go to the market and I'll say that I want to sell this car in 4 lakh rupees. Obviously, it's not possible, right? Because the actual cost was 3.5 lakhs and now you are saying that you want to sell it in 4 lakhs. No. So on what measures we will able to decide whether you want to sell at this price or that price? Maybe based on the type of a car, it's a hatchback car or sedan car or SUV car type of a car. Whether the car is accidental or not, let's say it's an accidental car, obviously the cost will reduce drastically. What is the mileage? Whether the mileage is good or not. Based on that, the cost will be decided. Kilometer driven. Maybe I use this car a lot and a lot of kilometers already done. So obviously that will be again a negative point for the car. Whether the car is, I would say, automatic or manual. So let's say it's an automatic car. So maybe I will increase the cost of it. So these are the things we have, and based on that, I want to predict the car price. And that technique, when I'm predicting a continuous number, for example, I want to predict your salary. It's a continuous number. Your salary cannot be yes or no. Your salary will be 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, and so on. So in that case, when I'm predicting a continuous number, and that particular thing is known as regression. So when you are predicting a continuous number, regression comes into picture. Second example, I'm coming up with I'm a manager of telecom industry, and I'm coming up with one plan which has some internet plan, call rates, SMS pack, TV subscription. I'm giving Amazon and Netflix. So basically, I'm giving all these features to my customer, and then I want to decide whether my customer will purchase the product or not. Yes or no, right? So when my business problem is like yes or no, that means it's like a classification. I'm classifying the customer whether he will purchase or not, whether I will get a corona disease or not, yes or no, right? Answer will be yes or no. Whether the rain will happen or not, yes or no. So when the predictions will be yes or no, in that case, it will be like a classification problem. Again, an important business problem because out of 100% of the problems, 70% are classification problem. So detailed understanding we will talk about in the future classes. Correct. Yes, Vishal, absolutely. So it's an important problem. Yeah. Next, clustering. Let's say I want to cluster you guys. You are my students, and I want to cluster you guys based on who all are intelligent students, who all are average students, who all are poor students. Let's say based on the marks, based on the number of questions you are asking. So when I want to cluster the students based on marks and how many questions you are asking, let's say if someone is asking more questions and getting good marks, I will automatically consider him or her as a excellent student. If someone is asking less questions and getting less marks, so obviously I'll think that he is not a excellent student, he is a poor student, and I have to spend some time with him so that he will have some interest on this particular program. So it is helping me. Let's say in this scenario, if you see in the screen. Now, I want to cluster my customers based on salary, spending score, gender, and age. Based on these criteria, I want to just spend, I want to just create the cluster. If the salary is more, spending score is more, then I can say that yes, he will purchase expensive product. If the salary is less, spending score is less, I will say that okay, he will not able to purchase the expensive product and so on. So that is very much helping me to cluster so that I will target my customer based on the clusters. So what is data science mainly needed for? It helps in predictive analytics. What will happen next, right? That I want to predict. It helps in decision making, whether this or that, yes or no, right? It helps in discovering pattern, whether there is any hidden information or not. So it's like a very, very important piece of a business, because if I am able to answer these things, my business can take some quick decisions and come up with the insights. Now, question arises, which skill sets and technologies are useful? Model building, Python is an amazing software and doing great in the market. Exponentially, it's increasing because of the very, very beautiful language it is. So Python and R programming, these are the two softwares in the market people are using. Python is obviously has an edge because of the interesting and a lot of libraries it has. That's why. After that, once the model building is done, then we have to do the storytelling. Then Tableau and Power BI comes into picture, where Tableau is obviously having a bit of edge than compared to Power BI, but both are doing great in the market. So people are using both the softwares, but the Tableau has an edge because of the quality of the visuals Tableau provides. And finally, statistics is important. In this curriculum, we are going to talk about statistics as well in detail. It's not like just the mean, median, mode. No, we are going to talk about very much in detail what is hypothesis testing and other stuffs as well. So very, very important concept, statistics is required, and we will discuss that in the curriculum. Prerequisite for a data science program, or if you want to become a data scientist, what is the prerequisite? You should be curious. If you are not curious, then it's a problem. Because if you are thinking of finding something from the data, that means you are curious enough to do it. And that is the best job for you, data scientist. Communication skills, important, because once you are getting the data, you have to communicate that information to the business as well. So communication is very, very important, and you have to communicate with the business. And some common sense, like if something is happening, something is happening because of that. Those type of idea you should aware of. For example, let's say I want to know salary based on, let's say, my son's age and my experience. So it's a common sense, right, that my age, my son's age is not going to impact my salary, but yes, my experience will definitely impact my salary. So those type of, obviously, common sense will come when you will have the understanding of the business. So in this program, we are going to talk about some business essentials as well. Very important. And these are the things you should have knowledge on. You should have the inbuilt property. Then prerequisites, you should have an idea of statistics. We are going to talk about in detail. Computer programming, there are chances that you are not from IT background, then that's not a problem, because we are going to talk about computer programming from very basic. And there are a lot of students who are from non-technical background are now working in good companies. There are students from mechanical branch, there are students from civil branch, and various different branches and various different domains, but not from IT. But they are doing good now, because the way we are teaching in this particular program, we are going with the basics and go till advanced. So don't worry about that. Computer programming is very much, I will make easy for you guys. Database knowledge should be there, machine learning knowledge should be there, and mathematical modeling knowledge should be there. So we are going to talk about each and everything in detail in this curriculum. What is the day-to-day work of a data scientist? So basically, raw data. So once you are a data scientist, right, you have to work with data. And if you're working with data, you will get very raw data as well, and you have to clean the data. So raw data will come in, then you have to process and analyze the data. From that, you have to get the meaningful insights, and then share the meaningful data, and then share the useful insights to the business. So these are the entire process you have to follow. and that is your day-to-day work as a data scientist will be there. And this is like very important task for you on every day, because you are dealing with lots and lots of data, and all the data may be raw. You have to clean it and make it coming up with the useful insights. So that is your journey every day. Some of the machine learning algorithm you should aware of, like regression, then clustering, decision tree, support vector machine, naive bayes. These are like few words, and again there are like huge list which we are going to talk about in this curriculum. ARIMA model for time series, and like various models, association rule and recommendation engine, and so on. So it's like a big list. I did not cover all the list here, but you will going to learn lots and lots of techniques and algorithms in this entire curriculum. Who can go for this program? Now, lot many student asks whether I'm the fit person for this particular program or not. Absolutely. I already mentioned that there are a lot of students who are from various different backgrounds, and they are now doing great. Some are from supply chain, and they are now working as a data scientist. Some are from BCom, and they are working as a data scientist. Like various different profession people, various different graduate people working as a data scientist in various different companies. So once you are enrolling to this program, you will get a chance to open up the various job roles which we discussed in the previous slide: machine learning engineer, data analyst, business intelligence analyst, and so on. So the number of gates will be open or more, and you will easily able to get into the company with this skill sets which we are going to talk about. So IT graduates or postgraduates, maths, stats graduate or postgraduates, domain knowledge experts. Domain knowledge experts are like the best fit, I would say, because they already have the knowledge of domain, and you just have to understand the algorithms and bit of coding, and you are done. You will get a beautiful job profile because you are like a techno functional guy, and it's an amazing opportunity for you. Simple graduate or postgraduates with good aptitude, experienced professional willing to make career in data science. So these are like the people who can go for it. But as I mentioned, like if you are from any domain, you will able to do it. Life of a data science project. So again, you will get a data. You have to understand first of all the business problem. What is the business problem you have? Because till the time you are not aware of the business problem, you will not able to come up with the solution. So for understanding the problem statement through study of business model is needed. So basically, it's like an amazing step or important step, because it's going to lead to the amazing journey of data science. So if you are not clear about your data science business problem, then you are stuck. You will not able to proceed it. So first of all, you have to understand, you will have a lot of calls with the business. You will get a lot of details from the business. You have to understand that data, and then you have to come up with the proper business problem, and then start delegating with the various different counterparts. So here, what is the use case? What is the goal at the end? What is the budget? What are the various specifications? These details you have to, as a data scientist, get from the business, because if you are not clear with the use case, how will you proceed with that? What is the end goal? You should aware of what they are looking for. What is the budget, right? If they are like with limited budget, then obviously I cannot go with some expensive software. Then in that case, I may have to recommend some of the, let's say, free softwares like Python. What are the various specifications? We have to get the specifications from the business. All those things are very much important, and that is the first step of the life cycle of data science project. Data preparation, also known as data munging, is the most important aspect of data science life cycle for any useful insights pop up. So basically, data preparation is required. Let's say I have a survey data, and in the survey data, they did not, like the people who filled the survey, they did not able to uh, they did not able to, or they did not fill the gender details. But the gender detail is very much important for me, because let's say I'm coming up with a product, and that product is for female, and I'm not having the information whether that particular survey is of male or female. Then it's very difficult for me to target my customers, and in that case, data preparation is very much important. I need to see that how much data is already populated, whether uh, there are more males or females. Based on that, we have to come up with some strategy, and we have to prepare the data. So those type of things we have to do in this particular process, because data preparation is very important before, like, getting into the model building. If the data preparation is not done properly, then this may lead to wrong predictions. So very, very important process for a life cycle of this particular data science project. Data integration, it is the resolving any conflicts in the data and handling redundancies. Data transformation, it includes normalization, transformation, and aggregation of data using ETL methods. Data cleaning, it involves correcting inconsistent data by filling out missing values and smoothing out noisy data. Data reduction, it involves using different strategies, reducing the size of data but producing the same outcome. So this, like, again, these are the steps which you have to perform in the data preparation: data integration, data transformation, data cleaning, and data reduction. After that, once the data is cleaned, you have to do exploratory data analysis, understand what all key variables are important for me, and then I need to finalize the tool as well, which tool I will use to run the model or for the storytelling. So all those things comes into this particular section of the program. Then model building. Once we are done with all these steps, then we have to go ahead and work on different analytical tool and techniques to use and transform the data and aim to get the useful insights, and finally decide the correct model to use for solving the problem. So there are a lot of models available, and we have to decide which model I can go for, because the correct model will give me the correct predictions, and in that case it will lead to the correct answers, obviously, and that will help business to grow or take some quick decisions. Once that is done, once you're done with the analysis, come up with the insights, you have to communicate it with the other stakeholders, right? And you have to communicate with business, you have to tell what all findings you have, and that communication is very, very crisp and clear, so that business will be able to understand. If you are not good in the communication, then that will lead to be wrong interpretation by the business, and that may lead to some of the wrong actions taken by the business. So that is very important. So good communication is required when you are finding something, that correct insight should go to the business. Finally, operationalize the team, delivers final report, code, and technical document. So once you are done with the entire discussion, then you have to hand over the code, you have to hand over the final report and the document, so that business will be able to use that solution for their day-to-day work. So these are like entire cycle of the life sciences. I would say the data sciences project, the life cycle of the data sciences project. Now I'll talk about one more thing. So how to install, I would say, Python. How to install Python, because Python is again very important software which you may have to use in this particular journey of data science, because that is the best software in the market, and that is what people are using. So this is the website which you have to go for, anaconda.com, and you can see that it is like a data science technology for human sense making. It's like an amazing website, and you can get the Python from here. Individual edition, you can get the Python from Python website as well, but I prefer to go with this website because all the data science relevant packages you will find it here in the in this Anaconda instance. So if you go here, you can see that SkyPy, then NumPy, Bouquet, Dask, sklearn, Pandas, Matplotlib, Numba, TensorFlow, HoloViews, PyTorch. These are like some of the data science packages. By default comes with Anaconda. If you're downloading Python from Python website, then these packages will not come, and you have to do it manually. You have to install it manually. Based on the machine, you can go for 64-bit 3.7 version or Mac OS or Linux. Based on the bit of machine, you can go and download Anaconda. Once you download Anaconda in your machine, then you will have to go to Anaconda prompt as the option, Anaconda navigator is the option. You can explore that. We will discuss that in the next class. But as of now, I will go and click on this Jupyter notebook. So we will explore this anaconda.com and anaconda prompt and anaconda navigator in the next class. As of now, you can just open up and explore from your side. We will have a detailed discussion about that in the next class, but you can see that Jupyter Notebook is one of the GUIs where I can do the coding. I'll open up this and I can able to do the coding using Jupyter Notebook. There is one more GUI which you will get is Spider. So Spider also we can go for, but I don't prefer to go with Spider because the only reason is that Spider is like a inbuilt client and it's with time consuming software, and I prefer to go with Jupyter Notebook because it's a web based and it is helping us to integrate with the websites as well. Now, if I go ahead, and this is my Jupyter Notebook. The name Jupyter comes in with JU for Julia, PY for Python, and R is for R programming. So basically, Jupyter Notebook is helping me to run three types of programming: Julia, Python, and R. And as I mentioned, Python is like very easy language. And if I want to create a single variable, now what is a variable? Let's say I want to store my name. I want to store my name in Python. How will I store that? I'll create a variable called name, and I will assign, let's say, the name. You can see that the name is created, Rahul Tiwari, and if I check name, you can see that it's coming in. So the variable is created, and you can see that to create a variable in Python, it's just one line of a code, and that is the main benefit of this. Check the type of it, what it should be. It is a string data type. You see, it's a string. So I created a string data type. Suppose I want to put the salary of mine, right? I want to put my salary. So salary can be a decimal. Let's say $10,000.50. So now my salary is 10,000.50, right? So it's like what? If I check the type of a salary, and it is looking like nothing but a float, which is like a decimal. And if you check salary, you can see that the value is assigned to it. So you can see that how easy it is for me to create a variable in Python. And that is the main benefit of this programming language. The only thing which you will get from this programming language is that you have to write the programming language just like a English language. That's it. That is the benefit of this program. Let's say I want to put how many days I took leave. So total leave is equal to, let's say, 25 or 25 days. Now it's a number, it's an integer. I'll just check the type of total leave, and you can see that you are getting an integer. And if I'll click on execute this total leave, it is coming as 25. And finally, let's say whether my leave is more than 25 or not. It is 25. Let's say whether my leave is more than 20 or not. It is more than 20, right? So I want to, let's say there are some criteria. If you are having more than 20 leaves, you will not get the salary for that month, for example. So in that case, I just want to check whether my particular leaves are more than 20 or not. And in that case, I'll just have to write total leaves greater than 20. Yes, it is. So the output which you are getting is true. Let me save this in a variable, let's say A. So I created a variable A which consists of true, and if I check the type of it, it will be a Boolean data type, true or false. So when we are storing the data as a Boolean data type, true or false, then it's like a Boolean data type, right? So that is one more type of data type we have in Python. So you can see that how beautiful and how quickly we are able to write the program in Python. This is like a small example, obviously, because the first day. So we are not getting into much deeper into Python, but you will see that the entire journey which you will have of Python, you will be amazed, and you will, if you are not from programming background, still you will able to do lots and lots of coding without any problem. That is the main benefit of this particular software. At the same time, the way we are going to teach you in this particular program, you will get the best knowledge and you will enjoy this entire curriculum, and after completion of this curriculum, you will be very much confident to get a job in data science. That is my guarantee to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this session. You get a lot of insight from this session, and don't worry about your background. Your background is non-technical, no problem, because the entire curriculum which we design in a way is that you will have the best understanding of this subject and also the best understanding of the programming and the other IT softwares. And that is my guarantee. In this entire curriculum, you will able to understand each and everything without any problem. It is just up to you guys. You have to do practice from your side. We will give you lots and lots of exercises which will help you to do a lot of hands-on, and definitely will enjoy this entire curriculum. So hope to see you in the next class. Till then, do practice and install Python in your machine. Any questions you have, please ask. Yes, Sudesh. Yes, you can install Anaconda. From Anaconda, you can install Python. Absolutely, no problem. I will prefer that, because Python website, if you install Python, then what will happen that it will definitely, you have to install the packages separately, and I don't want to do that. So I prefer to go with Anaconda for sure. Yeah, it's a free, yeah. No money you have to give for Anaconda. Python is a free software, yes. It's an open source software, it's a free software, and that's why people are using it. Python is like, I would say, best in the market. No reason. Let's see that. Google trend. Okay. What all programming language you know? Just give me the name. I'll just put it here. First of all, obviously Python, because I want to compare with Python. Let me put Python. What else? Java. Okay, let's put Java. No problem. Here we go. And what else? C programming, C++. I think I can compare three only. Let's add one more. R programming. Okay, here we go. Now let me compare for last 5 years. You can see that for last 5 years, blue line is Python. It was not up, but now after this 2017 or something, you see that the trend is going up, right? Python is again going very, very up. And that is what the demand is going on. That's the amazing thing happening, right? And you see that here the pandemic started, so search is going down, but this search is again, it will start going up once after the pandemic will over. People will start looking for the job, and there is a trend like every you can see around December the trend is going down, right? Every December. So as a data scientist, you have to analyze this type of data as well. Every December, you see the data is, the search is going down, and that's a trend which we see every year. Right? Here also December, here also in the December something. There is a trend that people are not searching for something, like the searching is going down. Maybe because of the year end or something. They are enjoying the holiday and they are not searching anything. Right? It's a US United States data. You can change that also. Let's say we'll go with the worldwide, and you can see that worldwide after this particular year, 2019 May, last 1 year, you can see that Python is going up worldwide. Let's see the trend in India. In India, let's see what's going on. In India, people are talking about Python after April 2020, right? So trend is going up. So obviously US started early. That's the trend of any IT company, like any IT software, right? So the trend first comes in US and then it comes to India, and you can see that it's slowly building up. The trend is going up. So it's just a start, guys. And if you are just starting your career now, I think you will be in a great shape. So that search is actually talks a lot of things. That in India, people are now looking for Python. And if you are Python expert, it is just the start of Python in India. So see, for next 5 to 10 years, if you are perfect in Python after this curriculum, what will be your position? You just imagine you will be on the top of this world. So that is the best thing I would say, and obviously I'll give you guarantee that you will get this best knowledge from this entire program. So download Python, and from tomorrow we'll start with the journey of Python, the amazing journey of Python, and that will make you a successful Python programmer with data science knowledge. All the best, guys, and take care. And obviously we'll see you tomorrow. And don't go outside. And stay safe. Bye bye.